Hello, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to share with you how to work without a work permit. Alright, this video is for those people who want to work in Canada and you want to know more details whether you're the type of job you are going to apply for. You are supposed to have a work permit or not. So please watch this video up to the end and I hope it really helps you. Alright, so most foreign nationals wishing to work in Canada require a work permit, which is a legal document authorizing a foreign national to engage in employment and receive compensation from a Canadian employer. However, in certain unique circumstances, a foreign national may work in Canada without a work permit. So these are types of jobs in Canada that do not require a work permit. So please pay attention and listen to it keenly so that it will help you. The following types of job may not require a work permit for foreign nationals to engage in Canadian employment. It should be noted simple inclusion on this list does not mean that a person will be eligible for a work permit exemption. In order to qualify for a work permit exemption, a person's job must be on this list and they must meet the additional exemption criteria for their specific job as outlined on the International Mobility Program webpage. First of all, athletes or coaches, aviation accident or incident investigator, business visitor, civil aviation inspector, clergy, convention organizer, crew member, emergency service provider, examiner and evaluator, expert witness or investigator, family member, foreign representative, foreign government officer or representative, healthcare student, judge, referee, or similar official, military personnel, news reporter or film and medium crew, producer or staff member working on advertisement, performing artist, public speakers, short-term highly skilled workers, short-term researchers, student working off campus, student working on campus. If a foreign national is employed in one of the positions or scenario listed above, they may be eligible for work permit exemption. Athletes or coaches or a coach. If you're a foreign national who is a member of a foreign athletic team who is competing in Canada, you may be exempt from requiring a work permit. This provision covers athletes, coaches, and other members of foreign team. If you're a part of a Canadian team, you'll require a work permit. Aviation accident or incident investigator. If you're accredited as an agent or advisor to investigate aviation accident and or other incidents, you may be exempt from requiring a work permit to carry out such investigative work in Canada. To qualify for the exemption, the investigation must be under Transportation Accident Investigation and Safety Board Act. Business visitor. Business visitors are foreign nationals who travel to Canada to undertake business activities but do not enter the Canadian labor market. If you meet the definition of a business visitor, you may be exempt from requiring a Canadian work permit. Note, this is a significant difference between a business visitor and a business person. Ensure that you meet the definition to qualify for the exemption. Civil aviation inspector. If you're employed to check the flight operation and cabin safety of international flights through Canada, you may qualify for a work permit exemption. Clergy. If you're a foreign national who is an ordained minister, a lay person, or a member of a religious order, you may qualify for a work permit exemption to undertake religious work in Canada. Your duties in Canada may include the following: preaching doctrine, leading worship, and or giving spiritual counseling. Convention organizer. If you organize or run international conventions or international meetings, you may qualify for a work permit exemption. Please note that this exemption only applies to organizers, those providing hands-on services, audio-visual service, for example, during such convention must have the appropriate work authorization. Crew member. If you're a foreign national who is a truck driver, bus driver, shipping or airline worker, you may qualify for work permit exemption. To qualify for the exemption, your employment must meet two conditions. You must be working on vehicles which are owned and registered by enterprises outside of Canada, which are used to transport cargo and or passengers internationally, and your work must be related to the operation of the vehicle and or of the serving of passengers. Emergency service provider. If you're a foreign national who will be working in Canada to provide service during an emergency, you may qualify for a work permit exemption. Your services must be to help preserve life and or property in Canada. Emergencies include both natural disasters like fire or floods, as well as industrial accidents which threaten the environment. Examiner and evaluator. If you're a foreign national who is a professional or academic expert, you may be eligible for work permit exemption. to undertake certain types of activities in Canada. These activities include the evaluation and or supervision of academic projects, research proposal, and thesis. You may be employed by a Canadian educational institution or a Canadian research group. Expert witness or investigator. If you're working in Canada to provide evidence before a regulatory body, a tribunal, or a court of law, you may be eligible for a work permit exemption. Family member or foreign representative. If you are the spouse or child or a foreign representative, you may be eligible for a Canadian work permit exemption. In order to qualify, you must meet the following condition. You must be accredited by Global Affairs Canada, including a GSC counterfoil in your passport. You must have a letter of no objection issued by GSC. This letter is normally only issued if a reciprocal employment agreement exists between Canada and another country. Foreign government officer or representative. You may qualify for work permit exemption if you meet any of the three following conditions. You are an employee of a foreign government working under an exchange agreement which allows officials to work in government in your country and in Canada. You're a foreign diplomat or official representative of another country. You're a foreign diplomat or official representative of the United Nations. Employees of other government must obtain an official letter if they will be employed in Canada for longer than 3 months. Healthcare student. If you're a foreign national who is studying in a healthcare field in Canada and wishes to undertake employment as part of a training program, you may be eligible for a work permit exemption. In order to qualify for exemption, you must meet the following conditions. You must be participating in clinical clerkships. The main goal of employment is for training purposes. You may have written approval. You must have a written approval from the provincial regulatory body which regulates your profession. Please note that not all provinces require this. Your training must last less than 4 months. If you do not meet all of these conditions, you'll require a work permit. Judge, referee, or a similar official. If you're a foreign national traveling to Canada to judge or be an official at international amateur competition, you may qualify for a work permit exemption. These following types of events are eligible for this exemption: music and dance festival, animal shows, agriculture contests. Military personnel. If you're a member of the armed forces of another country, you may be eligible for work permit exemption in Canada. To qualify for this exemption, you must have movement order stating that you are entering Canada under the Visiting Forces Act. News reporter, film, or crew media. If you're a foreign national working in Canada as a news reporter or a film and media crew, you may qualify for work permit exemption. To qualify, you must meet one of the following conditions. You must be a news reporter or a member of the news reporter crew. You must be a member of a film or media crew who will not enter Canadian labor market. You must be a journalist who works for a print, radio, television, or web-based publication which is not Canadian. You must be a resident correspondent. You must be a manager or a clerical staff member of an event of less than 6 months duration. Producer or staff member working on advertisement. If you're entering Canada to work on a foreign finance commercial or advertising shoot for television, magazine, or other media, you may qualify for work permit exemption. In order to qualify, you must have one of the following roles: a film producer, actor, director, technician, other essential personnel. This exemption only applies to short-term employment, usually lasting no more than 2 weeks. Performing artists. Certain foreign performing artists are eligible to work in Canada without a work permit. In order to qualify for this exemption, the foreign national must meet several requirements. 1. You are the foreign artist or the artist's key support staff. You will perform in Canada for a limited period of time. You will not be hired for ongoing Canadian employment by the group which contracted you. You will not be involved in creating a broadcast for television, radio, or film. Public speaker. If you're a foreign national who is a guest speaker or a commercial speaker, a seminar leader, you may qualify for work permit exemption. Only speakers at events lasting no longer than 5 days are eligible for this exemption. Short-term highly skilled worker. Highly skilled worker may be eligible to work in Canada for a short-term period provided that a certain amount of time passes between each exemption. Under the terms for the short-term work permit exemption, foreign nationals working under NOC skill level O or A may be exempt from requiring a work permit for a short period of work in Canada. Under the condition for the short-term work permit exemption, the worker must be coming to perform work for 15 consecutive calendar days or less and 6 months have passed since the first day of work under the previous use of this exemption. To perform work for 30 calendar days or less and 12 months have passed since the first day of work under the previous use of the exemption. As the short-term work permit exemption is designed to facilitate the work for foreign nationals residing outside of Canada, those residing within Canada are not eligible to apply for this exemption. Short-term researcher. Some foreign nationals traveling to Canada to undertake short-term research may be eligible for a work permit exemption. This exemption only applies if the researcher meets the following condition: must be undertaking research at a public degree granting institution or affiliated research institution, must be working for 120 or fewer consecutive days, must not have utilized this exemption within the previous 12 months. Student working off campus. Full-time international students do not require a work permit to work off campus during their studies. Full-time international students are eligible to work up to 20 hours per week during study period and to work full-time during regularly scheduled academic holidays and break. Student working on campus. If you're a full-time international student in Canada, you do not require a work permit to work on campus where you study. Full-time international students are eligible to work up to 20 hours per week during study period and to work full-time during regularly scheduled academic holidays and breaks. Guys, this is detailed information for those who want to work in Canada without a permit. It has literally explained in this video the jobs that you can be exempted and the details in terms of what it involves. So guys, watch this video up to the end and please follow all the details. And if you want more information, you can also Google and you get all this information. Even you can go on under the Canadian government portal and you get all this information. Thank you so much. Remember, share this video with other people, drop comments, let's talk, let's engage. And as always, I'll always be here, guys, talking to you guys and helping you how to have a smooth transition on your way to the countries that you're interested in, whether to work or whether to study or whether just to go to visit as a tourist. Thank you so much and God bless you. As always, this is Faiza Nishika Travel. Bye bye.